I am just plainly green with envy sometimes, and I don't know if there's anything more in this universe that annoys me more than when people are like, "Yo, you shouldn't be a jealous person. Oh, you shouldn't be envious. You should be happy with what you have." That's such a again. This goes back to the thing from earlier. That's such a point of view where it's the same thing where it's literally like, oh, the money can't buy happiness, which I said last time is just people who are rich trying to keep you not rich, keep the richer richer and the poorer poorer. And I just saw some dumb, damn, dirty, dirty, dumb girl post
I was
something.
waiting for the third adjective there.
There wasn't gonna be one. We're just gonna repeat the two we got. But no, so I'm not gonna go into too much of this one. But this is a person I've made a few remarks to in the past about how horrid of a person they are. Okay. And they just posted a thing on their story on their private,
I remember who this is.
and they're saying there's a screenshot of like a Venmo payment from their mother, and it's like, and they think it's funny. And it's like, no, in no circumstance would I ever in a million, and even if I'm benefiting from it, I wouldn't broadcast it because it makes me look like a fucking loser. But it was a payment from their mother on Venmo, paying them $1,000, saying with the caption of something along the lines of like, all right, last one for a while, I'm not doing this. Find a job, LOL. And each week they get paid $1,000 from their parents just to chill and live in an apartment that their parents pay for.
That's pretty cool.
So they have an apartment that their parents pay for, and they have a phone their parents pay for, and they have insurance that their parents pay for, and they have a car that they crash and got a new car that their parents pay for, like a luxury vehicle. And they have, like, they have an apartment they live in, so they live on their own. But you couldn't hear the conundrum here. They don't pay for it, so they actually don't live on their own at all. They just technically live separately from their parents on their parents' dime.
That's pretty cool.
And then their parents pay them a stipend for breathing air, I guess. Oh, they also go to school that their parents pay for.
Okay.
And then they get paid by their parents and paid for by their parents. And it's like, huh. That sounds nice.
Sounds fantastic. I don't really understand.
And also, it's not like her parents are floating her, like $50 here. It's like you're getting $1,000 allowance in your 20s.
Is that a week, a month?
A week.
Okay, so she gets $4,000.
$4,000 a month.
Fun
plus room and there are fun coupons. Plus room and board. Plus fucking service checkups and every 1,000 miles free oil change and whatnot. All this stuff, right? All these atrocities, and people are like, you shouldn't be. Of course, you should be fucking jealous. Of course, I should. Everyone who hears that should be fucking seething.
Yeah.
Because no one who's listening to this has that opportunity. And everyone's like, be happy for what you have. No. This is capitalist America. I want more. Consume, consume, consume.
But that argument's stupid, too. Be happy with what you have. Those two arguments aren't necessarily not.
It's the same thing as money can't buy happiness. Someone who is smarter than the person who hears it said to them, okay, just be happy with what you have. And then some moron was like, yeah, you're right.
But those two things.
I should be happy with what I have.
But there's no reason why you can't be happy with what you have and still be jealous for that person is getting everything handed to them. Those two things don't necessarily. It's a stupid comment. It's my point.
And jealousy is bad when it's jealousy over someone. When it's like, oh, you're jealous because your boyfriend or girlfriend was taught. Then just if you're fed up with them, just end it. That's stupid jealousy. But no, you should be jealous of people who have better situations than you have.
I disagree. If I'm dating someone, she shouldn't be talking to anybody but me.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Correct.
I mean, we have to know our place in life.
Yeah. Obviously, they should. When you're dating someone, they shouldn't. In an ideal relationship, it would be where you're getting these texts like, "Oh, can I consume 44 calories, master?
So funny.
Can I please have a snack I haven't eaten in 3 days?
So I'm playing.
Is it okay if I shower? Do you mind if I cut my hair? Is this comfortable if I wear this?"
I'm playing Bit Life, and I'm going with you made me into the character Tom Welling. So it's Tom Welling, Chew, Stanley. Yeah. So Tom Welling's siblings are
Christopher Reeve.
No, that's his kids are George Reeves, Chew Stanley, and Christopher Reeves, Chew Stanley.
Yeah. No Henry Cavill, Chew Stanley.
No, I didn't get to that yet. Then now I don't know what I'm going to do because that guy died and having more kids. Now I'm playing
Henry Cavill's very much alive.
No, I'm playing as Christopher Reeves, Chew Stanley.
Yeah, Christopher Reeve did die, Robbie. I don't know why we're talking
about
that.
The character I made.
The man who died.
Let me get to the point. I don't even know what the point was. What are we talking about? because you don't shut up ever.
I mean, realistically, do we have to go into a bit? I love BitLife more than the next guy, dude.
Yeah, because you start doing the whole you can shower when I tell you, can eat when I tell you, blah, 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 blah. So since I'm naming all the characters from Smallville, I got to Alice and Mac to Stanley. I thought, like, should I call her Nexium? Like, that's too stupid. It's on the nose. And you just made the reference. That was funny. Man. There was a point. But you know, let me get to the point.
Because, you're rolling, you're laying a hot towel over my dreams, all right? Just let me fucking...
I'm trying to add the color commentary. Dude, you've been talking straight. I'm trying to...
Let me spin, okay? That's actually pretty good. That was like see, that's how a relationship should be. When a man holds up his hands.
I've learned.
I don't know, dude. It just I literally I came in here, I'm like, what am I gonna talk about? What am I gonna talk about? Look at my phone for 1 second, see this story, I'm like, Jesus. And also, the fucked up part is too. This is what's really annoying. I've left this person's story 6 different occasions.
What do you mean you left it 6 different occasions?
Clicked on their name, hit friendship settings, hit story, hit leave private story. I'm back on there.
Why do you do that?
I don't add you can't add yourself. I'm being added back.
I didn't know that's how it works. That's really obnoxious.
I've left 6 times.
So you get a notification you're added back? You don't realize till you see it.
I don't realize till I start seeing it in my feed again.
Hilarious.
And there was one time which is, you'd think I'm pathetic for being jealous of a person. This is pathetic. I left the story, and then she posted her next story, and I was already back onto her fucking story. In a matter of like 30 minutes, I left after I saw something. She posted like 2 minutes. It said 2 minutes ago. I'm like, this is stupid. I don't want to see this stuff. And I left the story. 30 minutes later, back on the story for the next post.
That's so weird.
And also, it doesn't notify you. That's my point.
How does she know?
It doesn't notify you.
That's so weird.
It's insanity, dude. I hate people.
So do I. I've been really seething nonstop the last few. I'm taking your word, but it's a good word.
Yeah,
I've been seething a lot the last couple of days, and I'm ready to just fucking boil.
Yeah, man. I'm going I think that I'm gonna go postal. I'm thinking that the Unabomber was onto something.
You heard some of the graphic shit I was saying yesterday, right? I'm not gonna say enough, so I don't want to fucking incriminate myself.
Because in case you do follow through with those things.
Exactly. I don't need a record of that stuff.
I'm not gonna talk about placing a bomb on the highway when a bomb's gonna be on the highway tomorrow. That'd be stupid.
Well, this morning I kind of felt disgusted with myself that I had such pleasure in imagining those things.
What a fucking shocker! What a fucking shocker! Robbie has a healthy outlet, and it's like this is something where I actually express myself in a way. I should probably condemn myself for doing this.
Yeah, I can't help it. I do that all
fucking.
the time.
You know the shit I'm surrounded with.
Dude, I acknowledged it last night.
Be me for a goddamn day.
I acknowledge you have it harder than all of us. All right.
Ridiculous. So, and the problem is I'm just smarter than everyone.
I said that yesterday.
And 85% of people listening are like, what an asshole. And then the 15% of people are like, he actually might be smarter than people. And those 15% of people, I like those people.
Those 15% are actually intelligent.
They're actually smarter than the 85%. Who would have thunk that?
I kind of have a story, and I wanted to talk about it because I felt ill-prepared because I had all the notes last time.
My neck hurts so bad, bro.
So does mine.
I'm dying on this cast, dude. The amount of pain I put into this thing, and the amount of pain I put into this cast.
I was trying to think of the story before we came in here, and as I'm going over the events of the story, I think I was jebaited. So I'm going to tell you the story and see if you figure out why I think I was fucked with the story. So the other day, I'm at work, and Chris is telling me a story, and I'm not expecting anything even remotely important coming out of his mouth. I usually tune him out when he starts talking, but he told me a story when he was younger the other day, and it was actually a pretty engaging story. I'm halfway through, I checked out, so let's see how far you get. So I forget the town he was in, but he said his friends, when they were underage, trying to get beer from some liquor place. I think it was by Patterson, just some kind of shittier area in Jersey.
Represent.
And they...
Legacy.
Got the beer. They got in the car. Once they get into the car, some guy with a sword.
Oh, is this the spot where the guy? I know the story. This is where the guy comes over and he's like, "You shot my mailbox," and he pulls the gun out, and then he's like, "Give him the beer." He's like, "Give him the beer back." Man, he's like, "I paid for the beer, man." Okay. And then his friend was in the driver's seat. He gestures over to the shift gear, into the shifter, and he puts his foot on the brake, and the friend shifts it into drive, and they speed off away, and the person shoots in the backyard, and there's like those 4 guys. Yes. In the car. It was the last day of school before senior year.
Obviously, you picked up on this way quicker than I did.
Was this what you're talking about?
100%. He's telling me this story, and he said the guy with the sword off comes up, knocks on the fucking driver's side door.
No, it was a revolver.
And I know.
It was a 6-shooter.
And his friends, he said he wasn't there at the time. So his friends, according to him, secondhand story, they're scared shitless. His one friend,
how old
like
is he?
You just said, not out of high school, 16, 17.
No. How old is he?
Currently?
Yeah.
He's 42.
So he was like, hold on a second. So you're telling, you said he is 42 currently. Somewhere around there. Early 40s though, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So then that means that he would have been a teenager in the early to mid 90s.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that in, like, let's say 1993, for instance.
You mean when this came out? Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So he's telling me this story, and he says the guy that sawed off against the mirror, he kept the window, he kept knocking on it, and his buddy driving had his foot on the brake, but he didn't want to move to freak him out. So his friend in the passenger seat grabbed the shifted, and
That won't freak him out.
And they hightailed it out of there. And apparently, the guy shot the back window, and then these guys drove to Chris's house.
So did Chris throw a bowling ball out of a car into the back of a windshield?
So close. You're getting so close. So the back windshield, they apparently drove to his house, and the back windshield is fucked up.
And then they're like, and then when they got there was a guy outside, and then Chris's father walked in saying, "Chris, there's someone here talking about ordering 30 kegs. Are you throwing a party?"
No,
and he's like,
no.
"Kegs?
Because
A
if he
beer?
did that, I would have
a
realized
beer,
it right
Dad?
then
No
and there.
way." And he goes outside. I think he came to the wrong place. Like, no, I got here early. My bad,
Okay,
wrong
we get
house.
It. We get it. You're in the movie. Let me finish the story.
What movie? This was Chris's story.
Fuck, Alex. You know what? You're an ass. Okay. Fucking. Then he says they threw a rock in the back, and they tricked the parents and think that someone just threw a rock. And they're like, we came back to the car.
Yeah.
So it happened.
And
So-
then the really crazy
Shut
thing
up,
was
shut up,
that
shut
the
up,
party
shut
got
up for a
canceled. So
second.
then Chris had a great idea. He's like, "Yeah, what if we just throw like a little beer bus, a little beer thing, And then they went in their trunk. They popped up on all the beers. They had a nice little shindig. He ended up hooking up with a girl who was
up.
going to be a junior.
I get it. Yes,
it's kind of
you're right.
cool.
It's weird you heard the story before I even.
He
told
went
it
back
to you.
home.
So
His mom's like,
crazy.
"Are you drunk?" He's like, "No, I'm not drunk." And then his sister
No,
was
that's
all
what
like,
I'm
"Wow, it's really messed up that I had to wait years before I go to parties. You should do it now when you're a freshman."
God, do you feel proud of yourself for going through the entire?
That I know Chris's
scene?
life so well. Yeah.
I mean,
I never, guys. For
shut
anyone
up!
who's
I'm trying
listening,
to compliment you, but you
for
don't
anyone
stop.
who's listening, I hadn't even met Chris. I
my
saw
God.
him one time across the room, and but I know him so well. I know his life story.
You're so annoying.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, you picked up on the fact that he was probably full of shit. As soon as I mentioned this guy walked with their car, you were like, "Oh, I know this movie."
Yeah, exactly. I've seen Dazed and Confused. I'm well aware what's going on.
I thought this was such a good story. I'm like, this is amazing. I never expected this guy to give me these kind of pearls. I'm gonna write this down. We're gonna use.
Yeah,
this
and
for
then you
something.
realize, oh wait, Richard Linklater wrote
No,
this.
I didn't realize it until I was waiting for you to come down here to record. I'm thinking how I should tell this. I'm like, this guy just told me Dazed and Confused.
Yeah.
I fell for this last week.
You told it last week?
I didn't think
sit on this for a
week. Yeah,
Dude,
Took
you
me
gave
that
me
long.
5 words, and I was like, dude, you're describing me the plot of Dazed and Confused.
Dude, I felt like such an idiot before. I'm like, I have a kind of a story, it might be funny, and I thought of all these sarcastic ways to go. Like, well, I didn't expect him to say anything this good, but this is what came out. And as I'm trying to think of how to present this story to my, this motherfucker just told me Dazed and Confused.
He's literally telling you the plot of Dazed and Confused.
Smells like reefer.
And then it smells like reefer, man. And what's the fuck about a fucking pothead?
I love that movie.
And then the really
Obviously not to, no.
the spot he fucked up that though was when he was like, yeah, so it's it's 1975, like 1975. I mean 1993, like 1993. I mean 95.
Yeah, what's funny is I didn't even put that together. Yeah, when he would have been a teenager, it lines up
Dude,
exactly.
he literally would have seen that movie like as a sophomore, gone as fucking. It's so lame.
I should have called him out.
And then he was like, and then he's like, it was actually kind of cool because my one friend, you said that what was he used to have this one thing. You saw what he used to, it's one, I'm not close anymore, but he used to have this like funny thing. He used to always be like, all right, and we all thought it was the funniest thing. I'm like, okay.
Dude, I wish I was as on top of things as you are because I would have called him out. I'm like, that's Dazed and Confused.
I would have.
Shit.
1,000%. If that person said something to me, I would have been like, dude, you're describing me. And then if he was like, no, I'm like, yeah, you are. And then I would have needed
You even
him.
did the pedal bit.
Exactly. I would have needed him to fucking give me some like excruciating detail, like painstaking. Like I need to know the road you were on. I need to know your friends' last names. I need to know what time of the year it was. I need to know what car you're in. I need to know where you were driving to. What time of the. I need to know. I need him. I mean, fucking treat him like a goddamn terrorist trying to get to the bottom of this question. Because I wouldn't believe that for a second. I'd believe as much as I can throw that fat bald man. What friends? Okay.
What'd you say?
What friends anyway?
Nice.
Who wants to hang out with that guy?
You know what's disturbing about him?
He plays Yahoo Fantasy Football.
That's
That's disturbing to me.
No, he has the girliest eyelashes I've ever seen on a man.
That's not possible. You've watched Psych. You've seen Nestor.
Okay, he has the second
There we
girliest set of
go.
eyebrows I've seen on a man.
He's the most girliest eyebrows you've ever seen on a man in person.
Yes, exactly. And it's a little daunting because, like you said, he's bald.
Yeah.
And he's prematurely bald. He's still too young to be as bald as he is.
Yeah, dude, you're saying he's 42, and in my head I was like, no, he's like 55.
No, he's young. Because I thought he was older, too, until he told me his age. I forgot what it is, but it's late 30s, but like 38, 39, late 30s. He's not any younger
So
than
then
that.
1,000% he saw this movie as a child.
Yes, he's a
What a
fucking
douche.
liar.
And then he's like, yeah, and then, the next summer I was working at a record shop, and my buddy, the owner finally let him close for once, but he ended up taking the money and running to Atlantic City and placing it, and he lost all the money, and then Joe couldn't, Mark.
That was hilarious.
Mark couldn't pay back the guy who owned the place. So then we threw like a huge concert. We were, charging like $20 a head. And even though we had 500 people in a place without a liquor license drinking alcohol, the cops were fine with it. And we were literally having a show outside on a rooftop, blocking traffic and causing mass hysteria. But It was fine. It was just really cool.
You know what's crazy?
Like, you never realized that the movie's a complete fucking sham?
No, this guy's life is eerily similar to
To a
Dazed and
lot of
Confused,
movies. And Empire Records. And then he's like, yeah. And then he's like, and then, I was in a psych ward with, Angelina Jolie and Winona Ryder. He's like, really? You're in Girl Interrupted as well, Chris.
Dude, you're doing a bit. Dude, no, the way you're doing, you're acting like someone else. Like, yeah, I just do a lot of shit.
Just do a lot of shit.
I can't think of who it is. I feel like it's a Tom Segura bit where he's like, yeah, no, I'm just pretty fucking awesome. The way your tone is like, yeah, and I hang out with Angelina Jolie. Oh, no, the fuck. No, it's like, yeah, my dad's so-and-so. What the fuck is that joke? It's from a movie. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, my dad's Brian Affleck.
No. It's what John C. Reilly says in Step Brothers.
Yeah, that's what my best friend's Ben Affleck. That's what you sounded like.
My best friend's Ben Affleck. It's when he's doing the Good Will Hunting thing.
Yep.
It sounds eerily similar to the plot of Good Will Hunting. It's like, this is my life.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I wish who is the bigger douche? Him for telling this story? For me,
dude, I ran into that. That happened to me once actually too. This isn't even a bit.
You saw an equation on the board?
No. Where our old boss JJ told me a story that I realized, or he wasn't telling me a story. It wasn't a story. He was telling me. He was like talking to me as if this was an original idea, and then I was like, "You're doing Wall Street." He's like, "Yeah."
Wait, what?
Yeah, like he was doing the
part.
part.
Know the story.
We were in the back, and he was sitting at his little fucking desk, shoved under the thing, okay? Mm-hmm. Another bald fat guy. I guess every bald fat guy gets managerial work.
Shit, I got shit in my head.
I know.
And gain some weight.
I've been trying to lose weight and, have nice hair.
Yeah, what the fuck? We're doing it backwards.
I should just be a balding, greased up fucking... You know that disgusting monster in Buffy? That fat fucking thing.
Yeah, it's like that weird tough thing.
Apparently, if I did that, I'd be making whatever they pay. Probably, honestly, realistically, probably like $45,000 a year. But I at least had a little bit of authority in my life. But no, I was gonna say I was talking to JJ, and he went on some rant about at a fucking. He was saying, yeah, it's like when you're at a. What are those things called? Public speakers. What are those things called when you go to the event?
Public speaking events.
But the person's like, I'm doing a blank
presentation.
Sure. He was like, he basically.
I know the term, but I can't think of it either.
He was basically saying that he was like, he didn't say I was at, but he said, when, So he didn't fully. He wasn't just blatantly saying he was the best basis of Dazed and Confused, like your boss. He was telling me, he's like, when this happens, and he just described to me. So he's like, when you're at a public speaking event and. The keynote speaker is talking, and they're like, they go on this thing. That, the guy was giving a message where it was basically just kind of like, greed is good. Like you're doing fucking Wall Street. He's like, yeah, and he caught himself he thought I didn't know what Wall Street was, and he could get away. He thought he could take credit for saying the line "greed is good" without me knowing what he was doing. And I kind of stared at him like, you're doing.
Well, suckers fall for that. I felt for him telling me about the pedals, and it didn't click in my head.
And I saw his fucking little beady eyes. Like, oh shit.
He did have beady eyes.
I know. He had creepy eyes, dude. He had creepy eyes and liked getting jacked off by women's feet.
Here's what I'm thinking. How far are we into this?
17 minutes. 17 minutes?
Good on us.
Yeah, man. Good on us. For real.
I'm thinking instead of trying to get 3 episodes in this week, we just do a long one. We'll just go through our history of all the idiots we've worked with.
No.
Just rip everybody apart. It's the end of the year. Let's just get all of our grievances out so we start the next year off the right way.
Dude, I'd have to spend a whole year talking about my grievances to get out my grievances for the year.
That's pretty deep.
But no, it's just pathetic when people do that. If you want to, I'm not saying you can't lie. I'm imploring everyone who hears this. You should all lie. You should fabricate stories. You should cheat and steal. You should fucking make everything sound more interesting than it is and really sell it. But don't fucking steal the story of something else. Be original with it.
I actually have a story I never told you about that I experienced.
Yeah.
When I was on the flight to Austria.
There was a baby, and your friend was like, there's no way God's going to take down a flight with a baby on it and a disabled person.
No,
and then your friend was like, your friend freaked out. And you left and then your brother, your other brother, the third brother we have, he was like, "Why don't you check on him? I'll stay here." And then you left the plane, and then a fight broke out, and one of the bullies was like, "Fuck you, Browning!" And then the plane exploded like you thought it was going to, and then your friends started getting picked off slowly one by one, including the guy who was the brother. Everyone thought he killed himself, but he didn't really kill himself. It was more of a freak accident.
So that's close to the experience, but it's not exactly the story I was going to share with you.
You went to Vienna, you got onto a train, you met a beautiful girl named Julie.
That would have been a better.
You were going around, you were talking, spending your time, the last day before sunrise, you were trying to find this love affair.
No, close. What actually happened is on the plane, as we're about to land, the guy goes in German first. We're landing in Germany to get to Austria.
This is actually a real question. Didn't you watch that Rachel McAdams, Dom Hall Gleason movie on that flight?
I watched part of it before.
You fucking loser. What's that movie called? About Time?
Let me get through my dumb joke, if it's at all possible with you,
Dude,
and then we can
when
give
did
you
you
the
go to Austria?
questions.
How many years ago was that?
As I'm on the plane,
Last question. I'll let you talk for 5 whole minutes. Last question.
Yeah.
When did you go to Austria? What year is this?
I was 19, I think. So almost
I would have been 14. So 2014.
Yeah, sounds about right.
All right. 2014. You go to Austria, right?
Mm.
You watch About Time from 2013.
Hold on a second. It's not like I sought out. Oh, I hope they have About Time on this fucking flight.
No, you were like,
there was no options. There was Delivery Man with Vince Vaughn, which I watched beforehand.
Okay.
And then it was.
The movie sucks too.
It's all right. And then it was fucking In Time, or what that dumb movie's called.
About Time or In Time with Justin Timberlake?
It wasn't that one.
So you mean the one with Rachel McAdams?
Yeah.
About Time.
Okay, it was About Time. Or I could watch Gravity.
I would have watched Gravity.
Well, my professor, I'm a pussy. He was afraid to fly. And I'm like, look, I get scared of shit. I might pass out. And she's like, well, hey, you can sit with me. If anything happens, I'll take care of you. I'm like, that's really nice of you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're a lot more. You wear your heart on your sleeves a lot more than I would never in a million years be able to tell a professor that ever.
I know. And I wear my heart on my sleeve and I get kicked in the face constantly. I'm the guy on the ledge.
I didn't say you should be celebrated for it.
Life. I didn't say that either, but I could get a little bit of a slap. I'm hanging on the cliff with my fingers cliffhanger, and everybody's whipping their dick out, pissing on me, and I'm trying to block out all the driplets.
Is this your fantasy you're describing to me?
No, this is my life.
Oh.
Okay, but if I ever had the audacity...
Are you pitching a 10?
Yeah. If I had the audacity... You know what, Alex? I have so many little funny quips. I can never get to them because you don't stop talking.
Oh, you're right. Fine. I'll let you talk for the next 5 minutes like I said I was going to. All I wanted to point out that it's pretty crazy that you mentioned Austria. I'm like, didn't you watch that shitty movie back in 20... I wasn't even there. I just know it.
I remember that.
I don't know.
I forgot I saw that dumb movie. Anyways, I was going to say, as they were landing, the guy first says in German we're about to be landing, so you might feel a little bit of turbulence. And then he said it again in English.
You spoke German back then.
Yeah. And then he said it again in English, and then he forgot to hit the intercom thing off. He goes, you know what I could really go for right now? A cup of coffee and a blowjob. And the flight attendant fucking ran flying down the aisle to come stop him. And I said, don't forget the coffee.
That's pretty good, man.
Thank you.
You did that?
Yeah. No, it's a fucking joke, but it's funny for telling the first person.
Oh, that was even better, man.
Right?
That's layers
I'm proud
on layers.
as shit.
All right, we're not even gonna see what the movie was. Fuck you guys. Just figure it out yourselves.
No, so I told her I was lightheaded, and she's like, "We can sit next to me."
You know why I didn't realize you were doing this bit? Because last time you had the Coke in your mouth, you started like, and you did the whole entire thing with spilling stuff out of your drink. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because I wanted to give the impression of spitting out cum.
Yeah.
So,
She spit the Coke. I took it. You're like, my teeth are out.
give us a kiss.
Give us a kiss.
She wants
And then all your friends laughed at it like it was a funny joke.
I've heard dirtier. I reference that line all the time, and you never comment on it. I say
my bad,
all
dude.
the time.
My bad, dude.
I
don't do one thing for you. Oh, how can I improve? Is that what we're back to?
Dude, like
we're
I
back
said,
to how can I improve?
I said, I'm the guy hanging on the cliff, and you just whipped it out and pissed on me. And if I ever attempted,
just for reference, by the way, I don't know what sick fantasy world you live in where
we've already established getting pissed on is my highlight.
If you're hanging on a cliff and I wanted you to fall off, I actually wouldn't piss on you and pull my dick out. Why are you jumping at pissing on you? Keep it in your pants for 2 seconds.
I know there's no visual right now, but I thought the meat flinching like droplets right in my face was hilarious.
I agree. You know what the problem there is?
I don't care.
There's
no one
no
can see
fucking
it.
visual. Get it through your head.
You see, that's the funny thing. I know no one else can see it. You can see it. Instead of even remotely attempting to acknowledge that it was funny, you moved on and kept cutting me off to tell me how I could tell the next story. Mm-hmm. I'm becoming a pretty good color commentator here. You put your fist up, I stop talking.
That's true. You train like a good dog. Cyrus, a little to the left. Ping, pow.
Where's the give and take, Alex?
That was a good one, too, man. You're right. Where's the give and take? I complimented you for your sick reference. My sick reference, you
didn't compliment my reference. You said we're never going to tell him in the movie.
I said, wow, that was good.
That was a good
and then your give and take back is, I'm not going to acknowledge what he said whatsoever. I'm just going to move on from it. But then I'm going to insult him when he moved on from something I said.
I thought we were on a little thing where we were acknowledging references. I didn't know if I should or shouldn't.
You said nice. Could have done something.
Nice.
Whatever, dude.
I think me saying the next line of the movie, though, was funnier than trying to take credit for the joke in the first place.
Yeah,
that little layer, like you said,
was pretty good. What were we talking about yesterday where I said, we were watching Psych, I said how funny it would have been if Sean did the South Park thing where Cartman spits in the woman's mouth. And he's
that would have been so funny.
He's like, dude, I love it. Trey Parker and Matt Stone are monsters, man. The fact that they wrote down, that's, I think, one of the most meanest things that they could have ever written, and it's so funny that Cartman says, can you not have kids? No, that'd be too easy. And then he just tears her apart that no one ever wanted to have kids with you. That's fucking insane. And I hope to God that was a targeted, like, I hope that someone, like, got on one of their nerves, like a nanny. Like, I'm going to fucking ruin this person's life. And they wrote it out that way.
I kind of did too. And I also hope
it was malicious.
I hope a part of me could actually summon that in a day-to-day scenario.
It'd be fun.
Because I'm just too much of a pushover.
That'd be pretty cool, honestly. Just to start, like, really starting causing havoc. Maybe we'll make it a game. Make it a little competitive edge to it. See, we'll start like tallying up like how many people's lives can we ruin?
That's a good idea. Each day we come back and we
because
try to
honestly,
collect our notes.
a lot of the time when you have an idea for something, the reason why you lose steam is because there's not enough pressure and there's not enough at stake.
That is
Because
so
realistically, a lot of things like anyone's listening. You want let's say I'd love to be a tap dancer, right?
Mhm.
And you've never tap danced before, and you've never gotten around to it. If I put a gun to your fucking head every single day, you know what? No. If I put a gun to your most beloved, dear loved one's head and say, if you don't fucking tap dance for 12 hours, I'm gonna fucking kill him. You'd be an amazing tap dancer because it's pressure, there's stakes. So I'm saying, like, if you and me just chose independently to be like, we should start causing havoc, ruining lives. By like the fourth or fifth suicide note, we'd probably be like, you can only stare at a picture for so long to get bored of it, right? But if there's a competitive edge to it, we're competing. That's going to fuel that fire for generations. Why didn't the Olympics start off with a torch lighting ceremony?
Wow, they're feeling the fire.
Exactly. Why didn't the country?
Well, that was a metaphor. I know it's
why
literal.
do you think the country will spend a month before the fucking event traversing on foot, carrying a lit torch from person to person to person to then light the torch?
I never gave it much thought, but now you're pointing out all the facts in front of me. It makes so much sense.
It makes so much sense. I never thought of it, but now it makes so much sense. It's pretty good. 25 minutes, dude. I can call it there.